Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies, how the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. BioVie Pharma is on a mission to discover new treatments, find cures, and make a difference for people that are suffering from neurological and neurodegenerative diseases. And with me is Cuong Do, the president and CEO, to talk about this. You're doing such interesting work, and I know a lot in Alzheimer's. And there was a new book that was out and other publications that have been critical of the medical industry for the lack of progress in Alzheimer's. I mean, there was so much hope, and then it seems to kind of stalled lately. What's your view on that?
You know, Charles Piller is an investigative journalist with Science magazine, and he recently published a book that essentially says groupthink has led and hampered the search for an Alzheimer's treatment by focusing only on reducing amyloid plaques and tau tangles, right? And I actually do agree with him that the community has gone down the wrong path. And when I first started working in Alzheimer's back in the late 80s, we all, of course, focus on amyloid and tau. But through the decades, there's never been an agent that can reduce plaques and tangles and reverse the cognitive decline associated with Alzheimer's, right? And over the course of the last decade or so, more and more researchers are coming around to the point of view that plaques and tangles themselves are not the toxic agent that's causing neurodegeneration, but what they're doing is causing inflammation.
Okay, and that's where you come in, because I know you've been doing work with inflammation. So the inflammation may be what should be looked at. So tell me what you're doing with that and explain more about why you think that might have more potential.
See, we believe that inflammation is the root of many things starting to go wrong in the body. But it's a very delicate process because inflammation is a natural part of how the body protects itself. So when the body faces an acute insult, such as an insect sting or an infection, immune cells kick in to try to fight it off. And it creates inflammation as part of that process. Right? But when the infection disappears, the inflammation subsides and things goes back to normal. The problem arises is when we continually expose the body to some factor that then leads the immune cells to be constantly fighting off something. This means that TNF-alpha is constantly being produced, which then leads to a condition called chronic low-grade inflammation.
Okay. And
TNF-alpha is known as the master regulator of inflammation. When it's present, it initiates a series of cascades that has been associated with Alzheimer's and a number of other diseases as well. We will soon be enrolling long COVID trial in a long COVID patients in a trial where we would give them bezisterim to see if we can help with the really debilitating problems of brain fog, fatigue, and malaise, right? So if you are a Parkinson's patient who need to go onto therapy for the first time, or if you're a long COVID patient, you may want to go to our website to learn more about the trial and perhaps consider enrolling, right? But unfortunately, if you don't qualify for the trial, the only solution right now is a healthier diet, more exercise, and removing yourself from toxins and allergens that may lead to inflammation.
Okay. Well, best of luck with that trial, and let us know. Keep us up to date.
All right. Thank you. I look forward to coming back to inform you on progress.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jane, for having me.
There are over 83 million dogs and 50 million cats in the U.S. Up to 80% of senior cats and dogs can suffer from osteoarthritis. Spring is helping treat them and is now available in all 50 states and over 800 veterinarian clinics. Learn more at newtothestreet.com. PetVivo, a publicly traded company, ticker symbol PETV. Attention investors, Acurx Pharmaceuticals trades on the NASDAQ ACXP, is leading the fight against antibiotic-resistant infections with next-gen small molecule antibiotics. Targeting the $1.7 billion U.S. market for C. difficile, Acurx is driving innovation in a global health crisis. This is one stock to watch. Is ACXP an opportunity for your portfolio? Find out more at New to the Street.
Is your garden struggling to stay hydrated? Meet Waterless Garden, the organic solution that saves water and boosts your garden's health. Packed with humus materials and trillions of beneficial microbes, Waterless Garden improves soil structure and increases water retention. Use less water, get better results, and watch your garden thrive. Waterless Garden. Less water, more life.
Roadzen is a global technology company using AI to transform auto insurance. Some of the world's largest car makers, insurers, and fleets rely on Roadzen to reduce accidents, process lightning-fast claims, lower insurance premiums. With annual revenues approaching $50 million, Roadzen is racing towards profitability. This isn't just AI, it's real-world innovation powering the future of mobility and insurance. Roadzen. RDZN.
Acurx Pharmaceuticals has secured a path to the first new fibromyalgia drug in 15 years. And with me is the CEO, Seth Lederman, to talk about this. So, of course, fibromyalgia, a chronic disorder, affects mostly women. You have been really a pioneer in treatments of this. So how have you approached the problem, and what's the latest with that?
Thank you, Jane, for having me on. Yes, we're a pioneer, but I've been working on fibromyalgia for almost 30 years. So it's a long time coming. It's a very challenging problem for drug makers to address fibromyalgia. And that's why there hasn't been a new drug in 15 years. So we have a new medicine called TNX-102SL in development, and we're very excited that we're getting close to an FDA decision.
Okay. And the FDA awarded you PDUFA, a date for this, right? So tell me what that means exactly.
The FDA operates on user fees. So we have now a PDUFA date, or Prescription Drug User Fee Act date, of August 15th. And that's when we can expect a decision from FDA on marketing authorization for our drug in the United States.
So what does this mean for people who suffer from fibromyalgia?
It means we're very close. It's a long road to develop a drug. And we've been working on this for 10 years. And we believe that if the drug is approved on August 15th, we think that we should be able to be in a position to launch about 2 months later.
And we mentioned there hasn't been a drug in 15 years. What's currently on the market? How does this improve what's currently there?
Yeah, so there are 3 medicines that are FDA approved for fibromyalgia. Pfizer had Lyrica, which is a class of drugs that slows nerve conduction. And then Lilly launched Cymbalta, which is an SNRI class drug. And then AbbVie has Savella. Lyrica and Cymbalta are now generic. But they represent 2 classes of medicines, and our drug is will be the first member of a new class of medicines called tertiary amine tricyclic. And this class of medicines is unique because we're targeting the unrefreshing sleep. And we think that we had 2 statistically significant studies on reducing pain, but we also think that the tolerability profile of our product seems to be very appealing in the studies.
Okay, very interesting. Please come back in August and bring us up to date on where you are with this.
I look forward to that.
Thanks.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much for
Seth.
having me on.
There are over 83 million dogs and 50 million cats in the U.S. Up to 80% of senior cats and dogs can suffer from osteoarthritis. Spring is helping treat them and is now available in all 50 states and over 800 veterinarian clinics. Learn more at newtothestreet.com. PetVivo, a publicly traded company, ticker symbol PETV. Attention investors. Acurx Pharmaceuticals, trades on the NASDAQ ACXP, is leading the fight against antibiotic-resistant infections with next-gen small molecule antibiotics. Targeting the $1.7 billion U.S. market for C. difficile, Acurx is driving innovation in a global health crisis. This is one stock to watch. Is ACXP an opportunity for your portfolio? Find out more at New to the Street.
We want to say welcome back to Rohan Malhotra, the CEO of Roadzen, and we're excited to have you back here. Clearly, Roadzen has been very productive. We talked a few weeks ago, and so much has happened over that time, and I know you have a big announcement that you want to share. So let's dive right in and tell me how the company's making news.
Well, today we are here to talk about an interesting announcement from the government of India. The Ministry of Roads and Highways in India has essentially issued a new notification that mandates the use of advanced driver assistance systems in the country for almost all commercial vehicles that are on the road. And what we see is for our Drive Buddy system, which is a computer vision-based system that allows you to have better road safety. So just as a Tesla Vision is there for Tesla vehicles, we are building this for all vehicles on the road, and we can retrofit it. And we think this can be an incredible opportunity for us. The new notification that came out in the form of a draft regulation from the Ministry of Roads and Highways in India is that it says from April 1, 2026, all new vehicles should be equipped with ADAS systems that have driver drowsiness, highway control, and other road safety features that are mandated as per AIS 184. And Roadzen is the only company in the country that is currently certified as an AIS 184 compliant telematic system. So we see that we are at this moment uniquely positioned to take advantage of a massive new market opening up. And we think this could affect millions of vehicles on the road. And we are just preparing to ramp up for the execution of this program.
Oh, very interesting and good point. So anything left that you would like to share with investors, shareholders about where the roadmap for Roadzen?
Well, we're still evaluating the impact of the full order at this moment. This draft regulation is supposed to be enforced 30 days from today. We're talking to all the major car makers, all the major fleets in the country, in India, and we're anticipating a significant ramp up of our execution capabilities. And we think 2025, 2026 will be incredible years for the business.
Okay. Well, Rohan, thank you so much. And congratulations on this milestone for the company. And please keep us up to date as that rolls out and you go into other markets.
Thanks a lot, Jane.
Thank you.
Pleasure talking to you.
Roadzen is a global technology company using AI to transform auto insurance. Some of the world's largest car makers, insurers, and fleets rely on Roadzen to reduce accidents, process lightning-fast claims, lower insurance premiums. With annual revenues approaching $50 million, Roadzen is racing towards profitability. This isn't just AI. It's real-world innovation powering the future of mobility and insurance. Roadzen. RDZN.
Is your garden struggling to stay hydrated? Meet Waterless Garden, the organic solution that saves water and boosts your garden's health. Packed with humus materials and trillions of beneficial microbes, Waterless Garden improves soil structure and increases water retention. Use less water, get better results, and watch your garden thrive. Waterless Garden. Less water, more life.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to New to the Street. I'm Anna Berry, and today I'm so happy to introduce Liam Phelan from High Performance Battery, a company at the cutting edge of battery technology. With a focus on innovation and sustainable energy solutions, HPB is driving advancements that power tomorrow's breakthroughs. Liam, so happy to have you on New to the Street. And I want to start by giving you a little time to tell us what is HPB and what sets your solid state battery technology apart from others.
Sure. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for having me here. It's great to be able to see you again, Anna. So from our side of things at High Performance Battery, we're a battery technology developer. So we focus on the development of our solid state battery technology. We don't actually produce the batteries, but we license our battery technology to our partners. Our technology really at its core is a solid state battery, which is safer, longer lasting, and much greener than existing lithium ion batteries. It's also non-flammable, so it also has a high charge and cycle life and can operate across a really large temperature range, so even all the way down to minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. What makes it really even more exciting from our side of things is that it was almost discovered by coincidence during fundamental research into battery aging. It's one of those really rare breakthrough moments. It's also really important to note it's ready for serial production as well.
I love that origin story you told me when we were together a few weeks ago. Fascinating how it was created by accident. So I want you to break it down a little bit for us. HPB follows a licensing model rather than a traditional battery manufacturing. So what does that mean? Explain how it works and why this approach makes sense for you and potential partners.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned, we focus exclusively on the technology development rather than battery manufacturing. So to be able to bring our innovation to the market effectively, we do operate a licensing model, and we do that by offering both non-exclusive and exclusive licenses based on application fields or geographic regions. So to give an example for that, our production licenses allow companies to localize innovation in battery manufacturing in their own countries. That really helps to ensure efficient supply chains and regional scalability. On the other side, our exclusive field of application licenses provide a competitive advantage, enabling licensees to really look to dominate specific market segments using our solid-state battery technology. It's also really probably worth noting as well that to ensure that we've got a really strong global protection, our technology is patented in 96 countries. Charging infrastructure, grid stabilization, and renewable energy storage for solar and wind. But to be honest, the applications go far beyond that. Really, wherever you're looking for reliable, high-performance energy storage. In terms of readiness, second part of the question, also really, really, really good. Our technology, and this is a key point, is now ready for serial production. So this is the perfect time to enter the US market from our side of things. Our technology is perfectly placed to support the demand and really look to be able to help the businesses in the US set a new benchmark for the energy storage.
Well, this all sounds really promising, but talk a little bit about some of the challenges that you might be facing bringing this technology to the market in the US, and how are you overcoming them?
Yeah, so actually another really good question. I think something I get asked quite a lot. Bringing solid state batteries to the market in the US, it does present quite a few challenges. The key ones really are, firstly, scalability and serial production is a challenge in the market. However, unlike other solid-state electrolytes, our solid-state electrolyte can be produced using established manufacturing techniques from conventional lithium-ion batteries. So we can do this because our solid-state electrolyte is formed after the addition of a final liquid, creating a chemical reaction in the cell. This makes scaling up the production much, much more straightforward compared to alternative solid-state technologies, which are really struggling to be able to bring their technology to the mass market. The other key point then is market education, and this is a really big one. So many companies are still in the R&D, research and development mode with solid-state batteries. We are already beyond that stage, and we offer a ready-to-commercialize solution. So that gives our partners a significant advantage. We're also now working really, really hard to be able to become more visible, which is quite great that we can get to speak with you today. So that there's a greater awareness of our technology out there in the market.
Well, fantastic. I'm sure many of our viewers are interested. So, for the companies in the US that are interested in working and partnering with you, what would the best next steps be?
Yeah, so I would say the best next step is to just to reach out to us directly. So whether you're a battery manufacturer, an energy storage provider, or even looking to invest in the solid state revolution, we'd really love to connect. So easiest way is to visit our website, which is www.highperformancebattery.ch. And you can learn more about our technology, but you can also reach out to us through our contact form on the website.
Well, fantastic speaking with you, Liam, and I look forward to following along with your journey. It's quite the interesting one.
Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. There are over 83 million dogs and 50 million cats in the U.S. Up to 80% of senior cats and dogs can suffer from osteoarthritis. Spring is helping treat them and is now available in all 50 states and over 800 veterinarian clinics. Learn more at newtothestreet.com. PetVivo, a publicly traded company, ticker symbol PETV. Attention investors. Acurx Pharmaceuticals trades on the NASDAQ ACXP, is leading the fight against antibiotic-resistant infections with next-gen small molecule antibiotics. Targeting the $1.7 billion U.S. market for C. difficile, Acurx is driving innovation in a global health crisis. This is one stock to watch. Is ACXP an opportunity for your portfolio? Find out more at New to the Street.
Welcome and thank you for joining us. Exozymes develops an enzyme technology for use in nutraceuticals and pharmaceuticals. It is replacing traditional chemical production with a method that uses common feedstocks like sugar and biomass combined with advanced enzymes engineered to work outside of living cells. Joining me today at the New York Stock Exchange with more is Michael Heltzen, CEO of Exozymes. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much.
So first of all, tell me about the name Exozymes and the equation that led you to this creation.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you said already, we use enzymes to do basically biosolutions that replaces a lot of the petrochemical ways of manufacturing chemicals today. And what makes us special is basically we're able to take enzymes that typically live inside of a cell and run them outside of cells, and it gives us a lot of capabilities that otherwise is not available. So enzyme means inside of cell, and zyme you can think of as like the activator. So we have the activators outside of the cell, and exo means outside, and exozyme kind of came in as a natural way of expressing the scientific basis of what we're doing, and therefore we basically coined it that term and also figured out that would be a good name for the company.
And I do want to ask you about the role artificial intelligence plays. We know whether we're talking about the financial services industries, healthcare, or biotech, that artificial intelligence is playing a part. So what about at Exozymes?
Yeah, it's fascinating how there's a lot of convergence of a lot of different technologies happening right now. And I personally have had a career journey that started 20 years ago where we started working with machine learning and other things like that. So it comes relatively natural to us to look at the opportunities. What is very unique for us is that we are a biotechnology company that has a very, very potent angle on the AI, because we can generate very, very relevant data and then train the models on that data, go back and say, now we have learned something about how we can optimize the enzyme, the exozyme, to have these new capabilities. We can make these training models that are circular. That's very unique in biology, maybe not so unique in the rest of the AI space, where people can easily imagine a car that trains on the data they collect while it's driving. We can do that where a lot of other people in AI applications in biotech, they will only be able to basically take a data set and then make a prediction, and they kind of be stuck in that, but we can use the circular trainings, reinforcement training, and so forth to make better and better and better systems all the time.
Well, one familiar theme when it comes to AI is that it helps humans focus on the parts of their business that they want. So when it comes to your space, of course, there's a lot of competition in the landscape. So what do you think sets Exozymes apart from the competition?
So I think what is unique about us is that we can generate the relevant data on optimization much faster, much cheaper than anyone else. And I personally do believe that the AI race, especially in our sector, is actually not so much about who has the best algorithm. It's actually who has the most potent data, the cleanest signal to noise data, and who can generate it the fastest, because it's the learning cycles that actually brings us forward.
And finally, before I let you go, you're the CEO of the company. So what is your long-term vision for Exozymes?
Yeah, so if we dare to talk about like real long-term, so not putting a date on that, but what we fundamentally are unpacking here is a new way of making chemicals. So if you want to translate that into more layman speech, it's a new generation of natural resources. And it's mind-blowing when you think about that. Petrochemicals and basically harvesting from nature are the two ways humankind have access to all the resources we have today. We're introducing a third version of that, a bioengineered way of making all the things you think of as the modern life, but in a sustainable way. And that's what gets me up in the morning, fired up in the morning.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for sharing the story behind Exozymes and for all of your insights.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Roadzen is a global technology company using AI to transform auto insurance. Some of the world's largest car makers, insurers, and fleets rely on Roadzen to reduce accidents, process lightning-fast claims, lower insurance premiums. With annual revenues approaching $50 million, Roadzen is racing towards profitability. This isn't just AI, it's real-world innovation powering the future of mobility and insurance. Roadzen, RDZN.